Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. I am your IT teacher Shahid Ali Khan, and today we have a new video related to the language translators. Today we will learn about the different operations related to the language translators. As we can see, we have different programming languages that we use to write a program. Then how could we convert those program into machine readable form? So we will understand in this video. Language translators. Translators have different types. There are main three types of translators. Number one, interpreter. Number two, compiler. And number three, assemblers. Translators are used to convert the machine language, used to convert the source code into machine language. Source code means whenever we are writing a program into any programming language, that is called source code. So source code has to be converted into machine code because computer can only understand machine code. That's why we use translators. So number one is interpreter, compiler, and assembler. One by one, we will see that how they perform different jobs. So first of all, you have to understand that programmer write the program, that is called source code, and programmer can write program in high level language or assembly language, but it should be convert or translate into machine language because computer can only understand machine language, as I have explained earlier that computer could not understand high level language. So it should be converted into machine language, that is called binary language, also 0101. And after that we will have output, that is called result or display. So these are the different steps. In between those steps, we will have a language translator job. So one by one we will see. Number one is interpreter. An interpreter is a computer program that is used to directly execute program instructions written using one of the many high-level programming languages. Means interpreter can use to convert the source code into machine code that is related to any high-level language. The interpreter transform the high-level program into an intermediate language. Intermediate language is machine code that computer can easily understand. It convert line by line or statement by statement. Interpreter is a little bit slower because it convert the source code into machine code line by line or statement by statement. So how could they perform? There are three steps we can say. Number one is source code. Whenever we write a program, that is called source code. The programmer write the instructions to perform any task, that is called source code. After that, we will interpret. An interpreter convert it into 01 form, that is called binary language or machine language, and we will have the output, that is called result. Now the compiler. Compiler is another type of the language translator. A compiler is a software program that transforms high-level source code that is written by a developer in a high-level programming language. Developer means the person who is writing the program or the source code. Programming language into a low-level language, object code, that is also called binary code in machine language, which can be understood by the processor. Processor can only understood binary code or machine language, and the source code is understandable by the programmer or the developers, but computer could not understand the high level language, so it should be converted into the machine language. So the compiler is used. After the compilation, computer or the processor understood what you want to perform. The process of converting high level programming into machine language is known as compilation. So we have different steps related to compilation, related to the C language, because we will discuss in the next videos, in the next lessons about the C language. So whenever we are writing a C language program, that is called source code, and that have a .c extension. After that, we have to save the .c file and get ready for the compilation. And after the compilation in C language, we will have a .obj file that is called object file after the compilation. And there is another step that is called linker. The necessary routines and the necessary definition of the functions will add in the end into obj file that is called object file. And in the last, we will have executable file that is called .exe. So we have different steps related to the compilation. Compiler is a little bit faster than interpreter because compiler convert the whole program into machine language, while the interpreter convert step by step or line by line, as I have discussed earlier. The third one is assembler. Assembler is another type of language translators in programming. An assembler is a type of a computer program that interprets software program written in assembly language into machine language code and instruction that can be executed by the computer. Assembler is only reserved, or assembler is only used in assembly language. Assembly language, a different type of language we have discussed in the previous lectures or the previous video. You can find out the video that is related to the programming language. In that programming language, we have discussed about the assembly language. Assembly language, another type of a programming language that have mnemonic codes. And to convert the mnemonic codes into executable form or the machine code, so assembler is used. And assembler is sometimes referred to as the compiler of assembly language, because assembler is only reserved for assembly language. That's why it is called compiler of assembly language. It also provides the service of an interpreter. Assembler can convert the whole program into machine language, as well as it convert line by line. So it perform both the jobs like compiler and interpreter, but it is only used in assembly language. So there are different steps of the compile as assembler, that is compiler of assembly language. We will have a source code of assembly language. After that, we will compile or assemble, and assembler perform different routines. And after that, we will have the machine language, that is binary language 0101, and we will have the output after the assembler process. I hope students you have understood about the different language translators that are necessary to convert the high level language program into the machine language program to make it executable. So in the next video or in the next class, we will discuss about different topic related to the programming languages. So until that, Allah Hafiz, I am signing out.